Alright guys, welcome back to the channel once again, and today we're gonna be talking about the Django REST authentication. So we're gonna be doing like JWT authentication into the Django, because also there are several kind of authentication system that you can use, like basic authentication, token based authentication, another. But this is the third party JWT authentication that we're gonna do. And if we are making a like a production based application where we need to get like access token, refresh token, so definitely we need JWT tokens over there. So that's why we're gonna use that. So let's get started. So let's create a new project over here. So I have already created my env over here and it's already activated. If you don't know how to create, you can do virtual env and you can create your env, and after that you just need to do source and your env name. So denv slash bin slash activate, and you can activate, just hit enter and it's gonna be activate your env. So inside this env I'm just going to create one Django project. So Django admin start project, and I'm just going to name it my project. Okay, so it's going to create my project. So you can see project has been created. So cd my project. Okay, so I'm inside the project. Now let's open that folder over here as well. So let's open that. So you can see I am inside my project. Right now I haven't created any app inside of that. So you can see this is the folder structure. Let's create one app also over here. So Python manage.py start app and my app. So I'm just going to name it my app. You can put whatever you want, and it's going to be creating one app over here. So let's run it. Python manage.py run server. So you can see the server is running and our app has been created. So let's create one urs.py over here. So first step gonna be always urs.py should be, every app should have this urs.py. Go over here and just include the URLs for my app. Okay, path. So it's gonna be default URL. So just we need to do like this, include and my app dot URLs. Okay, and it's done. Okay, let's copy all the things from here, paste it, urs.py, sorry. Okay, just remove this include, we don't need that. Remove this thing also from here. Okay, just import views from dot import views. Okay, and let's create this URL as a default login route. So login and views dot login comma name is login. Okay, and after that another route path, let's make it same path, make it register. Okay, register and just make it register. Why I'm doing this again and again. Okay, so this is our, both the URLs has been created, register and login, and these are the main URLs. Let's create the functions for these. Def login request, and after that return. So I'm just going to return that. So if you so first of all we also need to create we also need to install the Django REST framework. So for that what you need to do, just create new window. Okay, and to go Django REST framework.organization and just follow the step-by-step process over here. So just go to tutorial, quick start. Okay, so installation, you can click on that and you just see the commands over here, pip install. So I have already installed it because earlier I also made some projects, so I use that. So it's already installed in env, but you can install it from here, both three of these, and after that you need to include this one inside install app. So just copy this one. Okay, go into this, go into the settings.py. Over here we need to install this. Also we need to include our my app. So just do my app dot apps dot my app config. Okay, so this is our app gonna be, and after that what we need to do, So that's it. I think there's nothing need to be done. Okay, so we also need to include this one as well, but we are using the JWT authentication, so this thing is not going to be required. We will use the same thing, but that would be for authentication, so we'll see it later when we will see the documentation of JWT authentication. After that, we don't need to look anything over here, and if you want to visit, so let me show you. So go into the authentication part. Okay, and you can see there's several kind of authentication, session authentication, remote user as well, and this is what we are going to use, JSON Web Token authentication. There are other third-party packages as well that you can use, but mostly people use JWT Web Tokens. Okay, so let's go over here. So let's so our routes are so login is also created. So let's import the response part from REST framework dot response import response, okay, from Django.http import JSON response. Okay, so just return the response, and inside that just message successful. Okay, successful, and after that you can return status 200. Status 200 or status 2, whatever you can put. So mostly it requires, like you can see, status 1. So status you can put the true. Okay, content type also you can define what content type you want to throw into the response. Okay, so login is done. Now we need to get the email from the login. Request data email. So why we are using request.data? Because we are creating the REST APIs. Inside of that we need to do it, whenever we are getting the data from the API, so we need to do request.data. If we are using the template engine, so inside that template engine we need to do like whatever the form action we are calling, so according to that, like request.post or request.get. So also we need to import from here REST framework dot decorators import API view. Okay, because if we don't use this one, it's gonna throw us error, because this is the main part for defining like what kind of your request is, post type, get type, or whatever it is. Okay, so just do the same thing for password as well. Password, and just put the password over here. Okay, so I think that's it done. And also I already told you in the last video, like we will create the custom user model over here, so that we gonna also see. Let's create the custom user model. Django dot config dot auth dot models import abstract base user. Okay, and now let's create our user class user. Okay, abstract base user, and after that just put some things. Name equals to models dot char field. Inside the char field just define the max length. Max length equals to 200, and also it can be blank equals to true. You can make it blank as well. Just define the email part, that's gonna be main and crucial part, and because we are going to make the login part from the email, not with the username, because in the last video I showed you with the username, but that's not we are going to use. Char field max length gonna be 200, and in this one we need to make it unique true, because we're gonna define over here like what gonna be our auth user model, and what gonna be our username field, default username field. So that gonna be email. So email should be unique in each and every user case. Okay, name is done. A token, we're gonna save the A token as well. A token models. Okay, let's save the password first, because we need to save the password as well. Password, okay, equals to models dot text field. Just make it text field. Okay, there should not be any kind of uniqueness. A token, because we need to save the token. Okay, equals to models dot text field. R token means refresh token and access token. Okay, so don't get confused about that one. Models dot text field. Okay, so this is our done. Now we need to define username field. Username field equals to email, and required field also we need to define. So nothing gonna be required field, so just make it empty. Otherwise you can define what gonna be required field. Always you need to require to defining the user. creating new user. Okay, so just put the one function over here, like init function, that gonna be like whenever you are saving the data into the Django database, like Django admin side, whenever you want to see your model, so it should return with the name as well. Okay, so that you can see over here. So it will show you the default with name. Okay, over here, over into the Django admin side. Okay, I hope that's done from the models part. So this is the model you have to create. Let's create one more file, serializer.py, serializer.py. Okay. So inside the serializer, we're gonna be creating a serializer file, Django. Okay, from REST framework dot serializers import model serializer, because we're gonna be serializing the models part. And let me tell you why we need, because it save the data into the format of query set. Okay, so you won't get the serialized data in the form of JSON or whatever the format you want. So it's gonna be one kind of query set. So for serializing the data into the normal structure, that readable structure, so you need to use these method that is called serializer. So you need to serialize your data into the format, so that would be your JSON format, XML format. So that's gonna be serialized. So from dot models import user. Okay, so that we're gonna also do. And let's create our model class user serializer, and we serialize by model. Okay, now let's create one meta class. So I hope you have guys read about this. If you don't, so you can go over here and check out how to create the serialization. Serialization you can see, and inside of that just you go down a little bit, so you can see class meta ordering and all the things it will show you. Okay, so this is the model, and you will see the serializer class. Okay, so that's how you can see. It's pretty simple, it's very easy. Once you read the documentation, you will read all the things properly, like you will understand how the things works inside of that, so no need to confuse. So I'm just going to do this one. Okay, so this is the very simple and basic method, like because you are already doing these things inside your model, so you don't need to define this again over here. But for serializing that data, you just need to create the serializer and get all the fields over here. Okay, so that's I'm doing over here. So class meta, inside that class just define the model name equals to user, and inside that fields. Okay, fields equals to, I'm just going to put all, because I need all fields. And also there's one more thing, we need to avoid some keys inside our database, so that's how the extra files. I hope you guys know about this one, because if you read the Python, so you know, like in functions we can pass some arguments and keyword arguments of parts. So inside that we are just going to pass the parts. This is the way to define. So inside that you can pass multiple objects, okay, like this, and you need to define which key and what accessibility gonna be for that. So I'm just going to do this one. So write, and let's create one function over here for creating your user. Function create. Okay. So default it will get as validated data. Validated data means whenever you will call this function, you need to pass data inside of that, so that data will come over here. Okay, so let's get the password out from that validated data, because whenever we will create, because we need to save the password into the format of hashed. Okay, not plain password we're gonna be saving into the database, so we need to hash that password in the long string format. Okay, so generally, like in the last video I shown you, like generally normally it does by it already done by the Django for the default user, like default login process. But if you are creating custom user model, so you need to write the code for that, for making that password into the big format or hash format. Okay, so how we're gonna do it, just validated data dot pop, just get the password out from here. Okay, and just create one instance as well. So I'm just going to create one instance. So just self dot meta dot model, and inside the model start validated data. So rest of the data gonna be come inside the instance. Okay, now just check if password is not none, then what it will do, it will do instance dot set password. There is my thing gonna be, and inside that set password you just need to put password. Okay, so that you need to do, and after that you need to do instance dot save, and after that return instance. That's it you need to do, and this is your serializer, and this gonna work like this will return. So normally if you are creating some other models as well, so for validating the data inside your serializer you need to write the code like this. Otherwise you just need to write this code and leave it as it is. And also you don't need to write this one as well, this line as well. I'm just writing it for password, like whenever we will fetch the data from the database and serialize it, so we don't need that password field, okay, inside the serialized data. So we just need, apart from all the data apart from the password, and just go into the views.py part and just import your serializer over there from dot serializer, import user serializer, okay, from dot models, import models, okay. No user, okay. So our user has been imported, serializer has been imported. Now login view is this. Let's create one register view as well, because first we're gonna create the user, okay. So register, email, password, we don't need to write this one, we just have user, serializer, user, serializer, okay, spelling wrong, serializer equals to user dot objects dot, oh sorry, we don't need to do this because I'm just forgetting those things. So data equals to request dot data, because all the data, whatever the like in the postman, whatever the payload you will send, so that will come into the request dot data. So all the payload we are just sending it as it is, so it's gonna be validated inside the your serializer. So you can validate it over there. Otherwise what you can do, you can validate the data over here inside this controller part, and after that you can send the data inside your serializer, and that is gonna be validated. So this is like as your choice, however you want to do, okay. And after that just make it use a serializer dot save, get the user over there. So data equals to user serializer dot data, okay. Let's check this out, it's working or not. So in this one, okay, so I forgot to define some of few things over here, so let's do those things first. So we have defined, and we need to define one auth user model over here, auth user model, auth user model equals to my app dot user, which means whenever you are making the custom user models with your settings.py, you need to define that where that user is coming from, okay, where it is defined, what is the model name into your settings.py, then it's gonna fetch. So that is your over here, okay. So that you need to define. Just go into the models.py, let's check everything is perfectly fine. Views.py, okay, urls.py, okay. So let's create one request over here. So post request is localhost 8000 login, not login, register body raw format gonna be JSON, okay. Let's do this. Email, gonna be your email, ath@mail.com, also they're gonna be name, let's create password. Okay. So we are getting an error because okay. So we are getting the error just because we haven't migrated our model over here. So let's migrate the model first. Manage file, make migration. Okay, migration has been done. Now let's migrate it. Manage file, migrate. Okay, so you can see our migration has been done and our user has been created successfully. Okay, now let's try to hit the route. Let's still okay. Server is not running. We need to make a server. Okay, now let's hit the enter. Save. Okay, so we got some error. Let's see what is that. Not found register. Oh, we did one mistake over here. Remove this one. Let's hit again. Again we got error. What is that? You must call is valid before the save. Okay, so it says that function I was talking about, we need to call is valid as well. Okay, user serializer dot is valid. Okay, now let's try to hit again. Again we got the error. So what is that? List indices must be interior or slice, not str. Oh, we got one mistake. It should be object, not array. So that's the mistake we did. Okay, so you can see message successful, which means our user has been created. So you can see we are getting the name, email and token, our token. So that we are not receiving just because that is not generated yet, because that's gonna be generated into the login side. So a register part has been done. Okay, so you can see the credential is getting saved into the database. Okay, let's focus on the login part now. So just go into the views.py and you can see we have already printed over here email and password. So let's print this out. Email, comma password, and just go into that, create one more route over here. We can make a copy of this one as well. Just duplicate that. Okay, so just remove this. Let's log in and go to the body. Just remove this name part and just send. So you can see successful coming just because we have just created it over here. Now let's import the JWT from REST framework, simple JWT dot tokens import refresh token. Okay, so you can see, and let me show you the documentation for that. Okay, so we have already opened it over here. What is this as just going to the authentication part. Okay, so it will give you the link over there, third-party JSON web tokens, and where is that JSON web token over here? Just click on it. Okay, this is the GitHub URL. Just JWT authentication simple web token, and you can see this is everything is over here. Okay, so all the things like what kind of keys you can create and all the things, like all the processes is written over here. I'm not gonna go into the deeper inside this, so it can just, you click on the next and you can see all the things. Okay, so just go back settings and get started. So just move to the get started and you can see over here, just install this. So just copy this command over here, just go into that and paste it into the ELB and it will work for you. Okay, so just copy this one as well. Okay, after that you need to just go into the rest of control C, go into your settings, start by rest of before that over here, just copy it, remove this one as well. So leave it as it is. Just also you need to include the token part over here as well. So just go. So these are the default routes that you can use for creating the, so we're gonna be creating it manually because we need to make it custom. Okay, so this is, you have to include installed apps and so whatever the third-party app you're gonna use, you need to include over here into the installed app, and then you can use it. Otherwise, if it is related to the Django, that you don't need to include that, because already you can see multiple apps are included over here, like admin, auth, content typeization, SSH, static files and all the things. But apart from that, you need to include it over here. Okay, so your REST framework is included, and okay, so JWT is included. Now just go into the views.py. See, the server is running perfectly fine. Let's start the server again. Server is running fine. Go into the login and let's check the user first. Okay, so just get the user. So user equals to user dot objects dot filter email equals to email. Okay, and dot first. Okay, so you will get the email. Okay, after that you just check user dot check password and just put the password over here. So we'll test the password, like whatever the password you have. Okay, password. Okay, and after that just you save it. So flag over the check password equals to. Okay, and after that you just check a check password is not true. Not true. You can check it like this, and okay, and just raise one exception over here. Raise. Okay, so let's import the exception part from there as well. The rest the exceptions import. There are several kind of exceptions. I have already made one video on that, so you can see this one about the exception and error handling. So authentication failed. Okay, so that we gotta use authentication failed, and inside this you can put the message like password does not match. Sorry, match spelling is wrong. Okay, password does not match, that you can raise and it will work for you. Otherwise, if you got the user and if you got your user, so you can create one JWT token. So how you can do? So refresh equals to refresh token dot for user equals to user. Okay, now do one thing, access token equals to str refresh dot access token. That's it. So access token we will get. So just return that access token over here. Access token equals to access token. Okay, refresh token we don't need that. We can save it into the DB. So let's print those. We don't need to print because anyhow we will get into the response, so we don't need to print that one. Okay, so this is our process done for the logging in, and apart from that one, like we also need to save this access token and refresh token into the database, because whenever your user will reload the page into the browser where the client side he will reload the page, he will call the API for getting the user details, so it will send the user token, a user access token into the header. So that time you need to check the details with this access token. You will match the user with the access token, and then you will verify this user exists inside our DB. So for that thing you need to save these data, and if your user doesn't have any kind of access token, so you need that refresh token again to generate that access token. So that's normal process of generating the tokens. So let's log in now. We'll save it later. Okay, now send. Okay, so you can see our user has been logged in and I have received the access token. So data is coming from the database like Django admin side, and it's working fine. So this is our login and register from the API side, and let's save the data like access token. So just also we can return the user details as well inside this parameter. So just we don't need to do anything, just so we already have the user serializer. Just serialize that user. First save the user details, like what we need to do, user dot a token equals to access token, and user dot r token equals to r token refresh token, str refresh. Okay, and now user dot save. So save. Okay, so user gonna be saved and data gonna be saved inside your database, and after that what you need to do, serialize user user equals to use the serializer and use it. That's it. And just print the data, user data, user equals to serialize user dot data. Let's check this out. It's working or not. Login and access token, and you can see we got the user data. So refresh token I haven't we didn't put that, but apart from password we are getting everything like last login ID. So last login we need to put the time for that, when the last login done. So whenever your user will log in over here, so we need to update that last login with the time. So time zone dot now. So let me do that as well from Django dot utils. Oh, sorry, so there are so many functions. Sometimes people forgot. So time zone. Okay, so user dot last login equals to time zone dot now. Okay, now let's log in again. Login done. Last login. You can see the timestamp over here. Okay, so I hope you guys understood something, and apart from that one as well, one thing more. So what you can do is to try, and you can put all the things inside the try, and any error comes inside your try side, so you just do accept exceptions as E, and inside that just return JSON response. That's why we put the JSON over here, and E. Okay, JSON response E. That's we need to do. That's it. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and in the next video we're gonna see some more tips and tricks of the Django. So till now, that's it. Thank you so much guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll meet you in the next video. Bye.